Welcome back, travelers of the internet, to the Pillars of Eternity. This is Master Barkle, the host of Hell Recording. And come now, let us into this dungeon. Would you like to take shelter in this dank, dark dungeon? I heard Eothas, the god of light and redemption, was
Not
here
a problem.
once.
I've been in here for, must be 5-6 years. Used to be real nice. Right. Warm.
Yeah, I bet. A man lies resting against the wall, lit by the dim illumination of the fading sconces. He has a gaunt, fox-like aspect, and his face is pale and damp with sweat. One arm is held loosely against his side, sleeves soaked with blood. He gives you an anxious glance as you near, his features twisted with pain. Have a care, if you mean to go in. Casts a quick look towards the doorway to his left. This place is not so empty as I thought. He angles a look up at Adair. Bang your respects, Eothasian. Manages a pained grin. A little risky, isn't it? Think what the townsfolk would say. Safer down here than up there, even with the rats as big as they are. A faint edge of hostility belies Adair's playful tone. This temple isn't what it used to be. Probably for the best, times being as they are. He groans and shifts position, wincing. I'm no looter, if that's what you're thinking. Not one of his types either. Jerks towards Adair. Just wanted to do some good, I suppose. Got my arm clawed up for it. Maybe you'd have better luck. Better luck with what, exactly? The man points a finger upwards. These ruins around us used to be a temple of Eothas, the scattered god. A grand temple at that. His worshippers would come from all over the Deerwood, from Eothasian even. Not so much from Eothasian these days. Until the war, of course. Even then, you'd get some of the stubborn ones. The ones that couldn't get it through their heads that their god was dead and gone. Lord Radric allowed them to worship? Lord Radric would clear out the place from time to time, make arrests. It wasn't until the legacy that he started, losing patience. He sent his guards in to put the priests to the sword, bring the place down, burn some of the books, and that was that. Go on. Once the legacy started, Lord Radric decided he'd been too lenient on the Eothasians. He had his people go in and put them to the sword. He told me that. Left them down there, buried under a heap of rock. After that, Radric ordered the temple sealed. It's been for years. Like that up until recently, Lord Radric hopes that if we rededicate the temple to a living god, then we'll be forgiven. The legacy will end, see? But until then, the temple is as you see it, unguarded. That's where you come in. Those priests, maybe they didn't have a lick of sense between them, but they still didn't deserve to go like that, chopped down at their god's house. It doesn't sit right with me. If you can get down there, find their remains, maybe we can finally give them a proper burial. No small task. There's coin in it for you, if you need motivating. So you're not a looter, you want a proper burial for them. I am going to steal their treasures. A pleasant surprise to see that someone around here has a shred of respect for the dead. Okay. I take it you aren't supposed to be in here. Well, I meant to be in and out. Nice and quick. I'm not hurting anyone. It's just Lord Radric's forbidden anyone having anything to do with the scattered god. It'd be a little harder to explain to him than you. It's a good cause, though, isn't it? And you could make some coin in the process. Sure, I'll find them. Then by the flame, I owe you a good turn. But listen, The temple's been sealed off for so long, it's crawling with creatures. But if you get past them, the priests would have been down on the lower floor. They'll be there still if they're anywhere. Those priests had all kinds of secret chambers, switches in the walls, trick sconces, that kind of thing. Keep an eye out, and take care. I wouldn't want to have sent someone else after your remains. I'll wait here by the stairs and keep a lookout. Maybe try to patch myself up some. Okay, so he said trouble's that way, huh? Oh, maybe it's either way. Okay.
Ready when you are.
I feel like that's where the treasure
Not a problem.
Treasure. So there was a ghosty goo there. This parchment is worn and tattered, and the ink upon it faded. In this time of hardship, must have just as much faith in ourselves. Yeah, it's sensible. The red-brown smears flake away under the toe of your boot. So, like a massacre happened here, but there's no bodies or skeletons. Spirit. The nearby crystals light the cracked mosaic floor in shades of orange, and at certain angles the metallic symbol beneath your feet gleams gold. As you look on, the air shimmers as if with summer heat. The very dust and air seem to pull together until a thin glowing mist appears before you. In its rippling gleam you sometimes think you can see the shape of a man, features rendered in broad strokes of air and smoke. Who are you? Your voice sparks movement. The spirit surges with a sudden blazing light, and the next moment you are somewhere else, your mind assailed with a sudden wave of fear and noise. You are in the chapter hall. Priests and faithful have gathered in a great crowd, spilling into the hall. Bodies press against you, surging forward to listen. Your own grief is mirrored in the faces around you. Some of the initiates are weeping. Someone has snuffed the candles, and the room is dark, save for the podium, lit from behind. 2 people stand before it, lit in silhouette. A man is shouting, voice so ragged with fear you cannot understand what he says. But the rectrix stands calm, unmoved. Her strength will see you all through these dark times. You feel that hope, like a spark behind your ribs, somewhere behind you. Someone begins to sing. The spirit tears itself from you with sudden dizzying force, and you find yourself back before the ruined altar, swaying. The spirit fades as suddenly as it has appeared. Interesting. The face of the statue has had most of its features struck off, along with portions of its hand. It's got a crown. Did they worship like Eothas as like a god king? Maybe. Initiate's note. This parchment is relatively intact, but the ink upon it has faded. You can make out a few patches of careful, tiny script. Visitors to the ritual floor, Rectrix Obrica says, redemption for even those or got and struck the largest bell first, rather than second. Rest is illegible. Largest bell first, rather than second. I'm guessing it's for like the church goings of like different sizes of bells make different tolls and tones and all that whatnot. But alright. Largest bell second. Camping supplies. Another book of the same variety. Don't you love those people who just fill up their shelves with the same book over and over? They're like, I buy nothing but this book because I love it so much. It doesn't really make sense to me. But maybe I'm the weird one. A fine sword.
Quick and quiet.
There's secrets somewhere around here. There. Maybe not. Oh.
Death to our enemy!
Vermin have scoured these plates, though mold still grows in green-black clumps across the table. Ah!
Poisoned.
Kill them! So, traps do exist on boxes and chests and whatnot. I suppose I do deserve that a little bit. Being a little aggressive. A haze fills the air, coalescing steadily into a blur of dust and mist. It gathers into the outline of what appears to be a dwarf, a shimmering echo that fades in and out of sight. But stronger than sight is the sense within you of a powerful energy. It roils and seethes with a grief that seems to spill into your own thoughts, tainting them until the sorrow is your own. Like a crashing wave, the energy surges towards you and into you, and suddenly you are elsewhere. Before you is a brightly lit stone corridor, lined with torches and gleaming crystals. You are running, your footsteps echoing off the stone around you. You forgot to tie your sandals, and they're slipping from your feet, following your steps. You're late. Again. The right's going to begin without you. You hear the tolling of a bell, and your spirits lift as you recognize the familiar warped tone of the right hand, representing the first of the dawn stars to appear in the night sky and last to fade in the dawn light. You pray fiercely that this is the first of the chimes and not the last. The lights fade, as does the memory, and when your eyes clear, the spirit is gone. Interesting treasure. Now that's a secret wall. Come on, you can't tell me that's not a secret wall. There's spiders and everything on the other side. We gotta get back around.
You better run!
You better run! Screaming at spiders, dude. A letter home. Mother, I have asked Brother Edric to carry this letter to you, for he travels to New Aomar come morning. With him goes what coin I have, and I hope it will ease the surprise of an unexpected homecoming, for I mean to follow in a few days' time. Our village is much changed, and though I do not wish for you to worry, I do not feel it is safe to remain. I know Rectrix Ulbrica will not approve, but... The letter trails off here. I'm guessing he didn't get that letter off.
What do you suppose that bally thing is?
Aha. Oh, here's the bells. Well, I have no idea what order it's supposed to be. There appears to be something over there. How did I miss that?
That's settled.
That was weird. Book of Verses, The Great Western Stag. We're not gonna worry about reading all these tons of books. There's definitely gotta be something there. I don't know, maybe it's like one of the dungeons of like Skyrim or something where it's like that's the way back. Because there's a lower level, he already said so, there's... I presume you just... These are the doors down? Wow. That's a high difficulty lock. Is anyone close to that? No. 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 Three bells hang from the stone protrusion that runs along this wall. Years of dust and grime coat the metal, There is one large bell at the center, flanked by two smaller ones. The bells appear to be fully intact. They are made of a thick iron and look very heavy. There doesn't appear to be much out of the ordinary about them. So large bell second. So what? Right, middle, left, right. The peculiar chime rings through the ruins. There's a quiet, melodic chime from all three bells before their discordant voices meet in one powerful rising rush of sound. It seems to fill the whole of the temple, a driving flood of song that drowns all other thought. As the tolling fades, you hear a creak from the direction of the doors as the passage to the lower level swings open. First try, baby. Let's go.
You know, it's strange looking back. All
Nice
the time
and
I
quiet.
spent here growing up. Never seeing what was coming.
Yeah. Kind of feel that. It's kind of weird, you know, being an Eothasian and then all of a sudden having your god show up and be like, yo, let's go to war.
You're mine.
Like, ain't no way that's him. Just went right past Adair to Tunk. I think Adair gets along with Tunk. Oh, there's a lot of shadows in this room.
Something over there. That's settled.
It's a good thing this priest is really good at disarming traps. Oh, trouble. Ow, that phantom smacked him real hard, didn't he?
That's settled.
Oh, some scale armor, huh?
I'll see what I can find.
I like how Tunk just sneaks. Boop, 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 boop. Such a sneaky boy. Betrayed. But the podium's trapped. Ooh, secret. It is not within our natures to forgive. Those who seek redemption seek a long and winding path, a road which takes us down into the very hollows of our soul and asks us to reflect upon the fractured aspect of ourselves. Oh, that's a lot of gems and monies. Sweet.
Laying low.
It's not trapped. Hear grinding noise beneath your feet and the rush of water. Huh. Is that like a septic system or something?
And what does the flame reveal?
You better run!
There's robes here. There's water everywhere. I think the cistern or well flooded. Gleaming silver key. Wonder where that goes. If that's the case. That's the boss room, probably.
Ogren's fire casts light in dark places.
Hey,
Shadows down into darkness. All creatures bask in his glory. The rays of his countenance bathe the world, bringing an end to the night, ushering in the day. Kneel before him and wonder at his benevolence. Feel the warmth of his radiant presence. If thou art broken, he shall make thee whole. If thou art in darkness, he shall bring thee to the light. If thou art sinful, thou shalt be reborn. If thou art cold, his warmth shall bolster thee. How canst I say, so lowly and worn, and speak words of proper adulation? Thine eyes whose gaze see the sin in me and yet still shows love. Thine hands whose grip pulls me out of darkness. Thine ears listening to my every prayer. Thine heart bright as the dawn giving me warmth when I am raw. Eothas, light of spring, sun of the world, thou givest me life and purpose. If thine heart be black, if thine intention be impure, thy life is a forfeit. For he hath seen, he can see, he will see, nothing is hidden from his glory. His light touches every corner of the world, nothing is hidden from his sight. If thou dost thy work in thy dark, if thou wouldst keep thine actions hidden, thou shalt be burned into the sun of the new dawn. Day comes soon, prepare for the dawn. Nothing is hidden from his reach. Wow, that was a lot to get through. A crumpled note. This letter is fairly intact, though the parchment itself has been crumpled. Yes, dear. I know that the temple baths boast great healing properties and that your back ails you still. Still, I would ask that, if you are to indulge for the greater part of the day, you give over your key to the sanctum to someone else for safekeeping. This is not the first time we have been forced to wait to perform the day's rites, and Rectrix Obrica is often too far below to hear our knocking. Too far below? Is that the guy whose robes I found in the well? It flooded a bit. He may have drowned. Wonder if he was okay. So I didn't see a skeleton. Shh. I don't know, maybe. Ooh, some black oozes. The still, dark waters are reflective as black glass. Shh. Interesting. Oh, there's a lever. There's a screech of metal and a snapping noise as you pull the lever. Ah, here's the skeletons.
Remind me never to help kill my god again.
Alrighty. Before we talk to the purple
I
goo,
can do that.
we're gonna loot the place.
That's settled.
Ooh, Gon's share. Who's Gon? A lesser known aspect of the god Eothas. Ah, okay. So he's a harvester of souls. At least that's what I gathered from the 3 lines of text I had read. The light rises from the bones as you approach. You have a moment to register the faintest image of a standing figure. Features a blur of mist or smoke before the world tilts. It is as if you have stepped sideways and into a new life. You are racing down a flight of stairs, following a weaving circle of torchlight. Your own panting breaths. Your own panting breaths are loud in your ears. Panic and your robes alike foul your steps, and you nearly stumble before a hand reaches out to grip your arm and steady you. A fellow acolyte, who smiles encouragement as you reach the bottom. You run around and past the shallow reflection pool that marks the lowest point of the temple, following the dark shapes of the older priests as they lead the way towards the narrow hall that leads to the vault. You pass one of the torchbearers as you go. The harsh illumination of the flames reveals a familiar face. For a moment, your awareness spans time and identity. And you think Wirtan has joined you. Wirtan is the guy at the door. Here at the bottom of the temple, in the memory, he glances at you for a moment, and then looks past at someone else. I'll come back once they're gone, he's saying. You're being pressed along by the crowd, and his words are growing faint. Just keep quiet. We can't take any chances. Inside the vault, golden relics gleam like welcoming stars. The memory twists, jarring you loose from one moment and plunging you into another like a flung doll. There's only darkness around you now. You think yourself blinded until the knowledge settles onto you like a cloak. The candles have all burnt away. You know now, too, with a sick certainty, that nobody is coming. There is a cracking noise somewhere to your left, a wet, slurping gurgle and a ragged sob. You cannot see, and so you cannot know which brother or sister has fallen, and which digs after what water a body may provide. You hear in the faint murmuring to your right the familiar cadence of prayer, but you no longer recognize the words. You are too tired to do harm. The thirst is like fire within you. Your tongue is thick in your throat, and every breath is a struggle that leeches strength from you. There is a light, they said, at the end of every bout of darkness, but this one does not end. The spirit releases you, and you come back to yourself in pieces. Your vision clears, and the vault around you is revealed once more, cast in muted hues by the sickly illumination of the soul, still drifting like fading fog. Fear wafts off the spirit in waves, fraying at your own emotions. Yep. I don't know if I'm going to say anything about that. That's rough. The spirit seems to withdraw into itself. You sense less of its fear and confusion as it recedes, but the soul lingers still. No matter how many times I see you staring off at nothing, it doesn't get any less weird. Well, let's gather the remains up, I guess. Spend a few moments gathering up what you can find of the bones of the priests. It proves a heavy and gruesome burden, but you manage to recover them all. Yep. So, Werton lied, possibly. He may have not have been able to come back down here because Radric's guards may have been around the temple and all that. And it may have been quite some time. And you're like, crap, they're probably all dead now. And let a few years pass. And, finally Radric's guard has been lowered as far as, around the temple. And so the guards are now all at the castle, I guess, to deal with Cole's, whatever his name was, his political adversary. So he decided to get back in and possibly bury them. So he is an Eothasian. But he did say by the flame, which I would think would be like Mogren. Huh. I think... Who is this Eothas guy? We need to find some stuff out. God of Rebirth, Redemption. Yeah. I think it'd be fit. He better bury the remains and redeem himself in the eyes of his god. If he is an Eothasian. Which I can understand why he's scared of it. Oh. Completely forgot we're still in a dungeon. If my knowledge serves me right. Yeah. As you step over the circle of candles, you hear a rattling clunk from the wall nearby. A door slides open with the grinding rasp of stone. Oh. Well, my instincts were right. I was just wrong about the place. The candles flicker gently as you approach. There is a gap above the altar, lined with broken glass, where a mirror may once have been set into the wall.
The candles are still burning. Not bad for a dead god.
What's they supposed to represent?
Redemption. They got this whole rite for when you come of age. They take you by the hand and you descend through the temple with your eyes covered, and that's supposed to be like a wicked life. They don't tell you where you're going. I was sweating like crazy when I did mine. They take you to that reflecting pool back there, and you're allowed to look at it so you can face your sins. Then, you come out into this room, and they uncover your eyes again, and everyone's there to greet you, all your friends and family. And it's like you've been redeemed. You light your candle, and it burns with the others. Never had a feeling better than that my whole life.
They're all still burning. Maybe there is hope.
The candles are still burning. Not bad for a dead god.
I feel like that'd be kind of rude. I don't understand, but sure. You do your
It's
thing.
nice to see those candles still burning. I figured they'd have gone out by now.
Me too. So, Wertan, where are you? Presume that's your name, anyways.
Welcome.
Wertan smiles nervously as you approach. I think I've sorted out the worst of it. I was hurting a little less. You were down there a while. Did you find anything? Is something you're nervous about? Of course not. Just never good to linger around these places, that's all. Did you find anything? I mean, I found some treasure. Do I confront him? Or do I presume he's on good intentions? I think I will just presume he's on good intentions. You'll have to separate them out yourself, though. It's a bit of a mess. I just kind of tossed the bones in this sack here, and yep. The color drains from Wertan's face. He takes the bundle from you with trembling hands. You found them. Then he stares down at the bones. I found more than bones. I did. Something valuable, you mean? You can keep whatever you found. I don't want any of it. Nobody's been down below since Radric's people have no interest in Eothasian gods. Or goods, is my point. They won't miss whatever you take. Very nervous for an honest man. Something weighing on your conscience, maybe? Wertan opens his mouth to protest, but something in your expression stops him. He swallows nervously and looks away. His voice, when he speaks, is small. How did you... That place is full of shadows, spirits of those you killed. I mean, I don't know if you really killed them. I definitely don't want to attack them outright. I feel like there should be a fourth one here. Like, be a little bit more cooperative. That's not... I didn't kill them right up until the end. You don't understand. I tried to help them. I did. Every day. Every single day. I went to that temple and I warned them. I told them that they were playing with fire and Radric wouldn't be patient forever. And every time they'd shrug it off like I didn't know what I was talking about. Like it wasn't costing me coming in and trying to help them. I could have been arrested right alongside them. What happened? Radric sent word he was going to have them arrested. Drag them out, lock them up. They wouldn't listen. The Rectrix said they'd be reborn if anything should happen, and she wasn't afraid. I convinced them to hide at least. They have that vault, full of old relics, gold and such. I thought they could hide in there, and once the guards left, they'd have something to sell for passage out of the Deerwood, back to the Adir. But when I told the men that the priests had already gone, they ordered the temple sealed. I couldn't get in again. There was nothing I could do. Yeah, that's what I had figured. Nothing you could do but tell someone, get the town together, organize a rescue? I'd have dug them out with my own hands if I'd known. They were some of the last decent folk left in this hole. Now all we got left is people like you. Maybe. I think I'm still gonna stand with him, you know? Seems like those priests brought it on themselves. They were fools, and it cost them. Maybe too much. Yeah, fools. I told you the way of it. I told you what happened. Guess it's your turn now to make a decision. It's not too late to make amends. I'm not sure that's true. It's been years now. What am I supposed to do? I'm not great at the redemption business, personally. Suppose I'll have to figure it out. I can bury them at least, like I said I'd do. Thank you, truly, for what you've done. Giving me a second chance, I'll put it to good use. Yep. And there we go. Good deed done for the day. Now, who wants a sleep?
Well met, friend.
Well met indeed. Except we've met before. I'd want a room. Yep. Want to sleep, dear Wood's bride. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yawn. And there you have it, travelers of the internet. Some dungeon delving in a role-playing game. Who would have guessed? What other dungeon is so dark as one's heart? What jailer so inexorable as oneself? Tell me about who made that quote. This is Master Barco with Bryhelm Recording, signing off.